Hi. Wow, it is a big crowd. They were not kidding around. My name is Greg Tannenbaum, and I'm going to speak obviously about Meta. This is a company that has a very modest mission, which is to organize and deliver all of the world's scientific and technical information. It's a big data company that was founded by cancer researchers and data scientists based in Canada. It's VC and angel backed. There are about 30 people on the staff. And my role is to advise Meta on the publishing space and also in strategic partnerships. Meta is a platform, you can think of it sort of like IBM's Watson, in that it has a diverse set of intelligence capabilities. It's specifically tuned in this case to consume scientific and IP communications at what we would call the global fire hose scale. You think about the information in our space, it's very, very dense, it's very, very rich, and it's big data in the sense where big means complexity and not just volume. And what Meta does is it consumes scientific data from a variety of sources and uses that information to extract entities and connections, and then provides intelligent analysis for a range of markets that include government, life sciences, pharma, VCs, and also publishers. And these tools have been developed through a combination of proprietary algorithms and also licensing best-in-class AI from organizations like SRI and IARPA. This slide is designed to give you a sense of the scope of the knowledge graph that's being applied to Meta's big data analytics services. It includes, I don't know how well you can see it, but it includes tens of millions of full-text papers, hundreds of millions of citations, and then a bunch of unique mined elements like antibodies, procedures, lab equipment, materials, things of that nature. There's a free end-user version of Meta, which is called meta.science. It's available at meta.science, and that launched earlier this year. There are about 100,000 members at this point, and they use it largely to stay apprised of the latest developments in their scientific areas of interest. I won't say much more about meta.science in the interest of time, but just briefly, publishers participate in it because there's no, in large part because there's a lot of users, but also because there's no file sharing or links to illicit versions or gray copies of papers. The resolution, if someone is interested in actually getting the full text, goes right back to the publisher's site. So if anyone here is a publisher, they're interested in participating, I'd be happy to talk to them after the session. Referring now specifically to Meta's big data services, the one I really want to hone in on here today is something called bibliometric intelligence. And that's a novel service that's used by publishers to pinpoint high impact papers the moment they're submitted for publication. So really it's a deep predictive analytics engine that allows publishers to publish more papers more quickly in more appropriate journals. There's some graphs here. It's data. They're meaningful. There's real science behind it. There are white papers I'm happy to send anyone. I'll give you my email address afterwards. But basically, the bottom line is that bibliometric intelligence is demonstrably beneficial in complementing the human expertise that editors bring to bear in the evaluation of manuscripts. So if you take the qualitative work that the editors do, if you complement that with some real hard data science behind it, it has a really good result. And what it can do, it can serve as an intelligent automated transfer desk, for example, so it can take a paper that otherwise would be rejected by a publisher and redirect it to a more appropriate journal in a publisher's portfolio. It also can enable the benchmarking of manuscripts, so for example, the likelihood that this is a top 5% paper in terms of citation, predicted citation count and predicted eigenfactor within 3 or 5 years. That's just a sample bibliometric intelligence report generated for publishers. This can be customized to each individual publisher service. Meta offers a number of other big data and AI tools. One of them is horizon scanning, which is a predictive intelligence engine for making sense of emerging topics disciplinary intersections, and the next what's hot areas in science before the human eye can discern. There's also something called universal recommendations, which can basically mine intelligent connections between and among properties on a website. I have 10 seconds. Meta also has a consulting service, which is publisher basically says, these are my pain points, tell me what you can do to fix them. Meta can address that using big data. That's my contact information. Thank you for your time. Sorry that I went 4 seconds over.